Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. I have somebody very special with me in the kitchen today. This is Debbie, or Debra, we call her. But she's kind of been a real part of our family since Brett passed, and she came down for mine and Jim's wedding, and we've seen, she came down and helped with hurricane relief, and that's kind of what we're doing here now. This is a make-do kitchen, but she's going to share with you her old family recipe for vegetable beef soup. And this is one of those meals that you can stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. Yep. And it's really easy to make, just a few simple ingredients. So what are we doing first?
So there are 6 ingredients. The chuck roast is probably the most cost-effective roast, which, you know, you can get a chuck roast pretty cheap on sale. Cut it up small, and then if you're going to cook it for 6 to 8 hours, it'll be tender. So you can buy a cheaper cut of meat and make this a fabulous soup. So there's the 1 pound of chuck roast, a couple pounds of potatoes diced up, half of a small cabbage, a can of whole peeled tomatoes, and a pound of your mixed vegetables for soup. So those are your ingredients. And then I add some barley at the end. So those are your 6 ingredients that go into the soup. We brown the meat first, add the other 5, a little bit of beef, better than bouillon beef, salt and pepper, and let it cook for a good 6 to 8 hours on the top of the stove. And it's fabulous.
Yeah, and the if you want your beef browned more, and what Debbie's going to do is she's going to put a little bit of flour on it. And that's a kind of, and also that will thicken your soup just barely, not much, just barely, because this kind of has an almost clear broth in it. It's a soup more than a stew, even though it has all these vegetables in it.
Right. And you can use a gluten-free flour if you need to.
Or just leave it out.
Or leave it out, if that's easier for you. You don't have to put flour on the meat. So we're going to brown the meat first.
Yeah, and she just seasons it with salt and pepper. So we just sprinkle a little flour on top of the meat and a little salt and pepper. And we do have the pan warming up. You do want to heat your pan up. That keeps stuff from sticking. And just add your meat there to your hot pot or your beef. And you can buy any kind of roast for this too. If you happen to be at
on sale.
Yeah, find one on sale. We used to call the stuff that they marked down, and if you go to the grocery store early in the morning, you will find all kinds of meat marked down, and you can get that much cheaper.
And throw it in the freezer.
Throw it in the freezer or use it that day.
Right. This will taste good because we're going to cook it in the pot that we brown it in.
Yeah. We made this last night in a crock pot, and we've got half a batch over here ready so we're going to show you what it looks like when we're done.
Right, you can cook it in the crock pot, you can cook it in the oven, or you can cook it on the stovetop.
Yep. It's like anything like that, especially soup. And if there's something that you want to substitute, it's a pot of soup.
Yeah, right. You can
something you don't like, leave it out.
Right, if you don't like the bag of mixed vegetables that they make for soup, in the frozen section, you can just add your own canned vegetables of whatever you like.
Yeah, or do just the peas and the carrots, or do corn and green beans, or do, you know.
If that's the way you'd rather have it. Now, I have put soup bones in this in the past. If you have them. But a lot of people just don't do that anymore. No. They don't buy them. You don't find them in the store like you used to.
No, you don't.
But I have done that many times, but I didn't want to complicate it for people because that adds flavor.
Yeah. Well, I did a ham bone soup, and that used to be a huge thing. Right. And that video got almost no clicks because it's what bone?
People just don't cook like that. People don't buy soup bones, like beef soup bones. But I've done it like that frequently if I can find them. Because if you're going to cook it for 8 hours, why not add that?
Yeah.
And just let it cook.
If you ask the butcher, sometimes they will give you a bone.
Yeah, they'll just give them to you because they're laying back there. They just don't package them up because people don't buy them anymore.
But if you happen to see somebody in the butcher shop and you're shopping for groceries and you ask them for a soup bone, they'll sometimes get it for you.
Yeah, that'll make it taste a lot better.
Oh yeah, way better than bouillon or even beef stock. Right. That's how you make stock. Right. You cook the bones.
Right. Cook the bones.
Okay, so we got our meat brown, and we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes
first.
And the juice in the tomatoes is going to bubble all that brown goodness off the bottom of the pot. So
and a whole can of water. because that cabbage is going to need some water.
Okay. Yep, got to have the water to cook the other vegetables and also to make broth in the soup.
Right.
And
A
we've got
couple
our,
pounds of chopped potatoes.
Yep. And those are diced up about the size of the other soup vegetables. So, you know, everything is kind of in that little bite that you can get in a spoon.
Right.
And this can be a pound of any frozen or canned or fresh vegetables, whatever kind you want. But this is peas and carrots and green beans and corn.
Yep. Now I'm going to add one more can of water for the cabbage. So it makes a full pot of soup.
With only a pound of beef.
Right. So about $20 for a whole pot of soup that will feed a whole family.
And the cabbage too is all diced up.
You just want to get it all wet.
And we turn this up to bring it to a boil, and then once we bring it to a boil, we're going to turn it down to a simmer, because if you don't turn it down to a simmer, by the time it gets done, it's going to be stuck.
So I'm going to add a tablespoon of salt, which seems like a lot, but it's cabbage and potatoes and tomatoes and vegetables that have no seasoning.
Yeah, and you do have to have some salt in soup. I mean, if you are on a low salt diet, and I have said this before, you can wait to add the salt. And if you add it at the end, we got about a tablespoon of the better than bouillon to give it some broth. If you do the bone in here, if you find a soup bone, you don't need to add bouillon. And if you wanted to do broth instead of the cans of water, you could do beef broth.
And then I just sprinkle some pepper, like a good helping of pepper on top.
Yeah, because we're only seasoning this with what's in it, and a lot of the vegetables have flavor, and the beef has flavor, and that's all going to season together. The bouillon, the better than bouillon that we added.
And once we get all the seasoning in there, I put a good handful of barley, which will also help thicken the soup and give it a good flavor. And it'll cook slowly in there while it's simmering on the stovetop.
So a good handful is maybe a third of a cup or so.
Yeah, a third to a half of a cup.
Yeah, I don't measure anything ever in the glass.
I was taught this recipe with just a handful. So that's all I ever do. I just pour it out until it makes a handful, and then that's what we do. But some people don't like barley, some people do. It's like an earthy, like a little nuttiness in there. Some people like that a lot. I like barley, like oatmeal and all those things.
Yeah, I've never really cooked with barley, so it is a wheat product, right? Or kind of, not really.
No,
Would it be more like it's its own grain.
like wheat, barley, rye are the gluten elements, so it's not in that category. It's just like a quinoa, or like just like a grain, its own grain.
So, and that's kind of the
See,
secret.
look at what's on the
on the barley is
on the box.
her vegetable beef soup. But barley is kind of the special ingredient in this soup that you don't see in a lot of soups. So,
and it's healthy.
Yeah,
barley is healthy. That and the cabbage make it taste different. Yeah.
Yeah, the cabbage definitely does. And if you like cabbage, this is a really good vegetable beef soup recipe.
And it's healthy. On the stove top, keep it at a good simmer for 6 to 8 hours. And if you do it in the crock pot, you could do it on low for 8 hours or on high for 4 to 5, or you can do it in the oven at about 350 for a good 3 to 4 hours. So either way, whatever's convenient for your cooking method.
Yeah, in the wintertime, putting something like this in the oven, it warms the house up. It smells good.
It smells good, yes.
In the summertime, you know, the crock pot's a good option because it don't heat the whole house.
Heat the house up, yeah. So either way, you're going to get a fabulous big pot of soup to feed your family.
And it's not, the prep time is, you know,
Well, 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
but
a
it's
big chop.
the chopping, maybe 20 minutes
20
it'll
minutes.
take you. And you'll have to stir it, whether you do it
Right.
in the crock pot or on the stove. And but you're simmering it on low, so you don't have to like stay in there all day.
Right. And if you're not going to be home, you can always do the crock pot.
Yeah.
Which some people have to do if you're not going to be home. So we're going to let this simmer for a good 6 to 8 hours.
So we're going to show you what it looks like. We're going to let that sit there and simmer. And we've had this over here.
We made this one yesterday.
Yep, and we're warming it up. But it has all the cabbage and the carrots and everything in it, and you can see the little pieces of barley in it. And you don't need any expensive spices, you don't need any special anything. It's a pretty soup, and it has a nice broth. It's slightly thick, but not real thick.
The barley thickens it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
But we're up here hanging out, doing some small hurricane projects, and we're gonna go do a community festival tomorrow.
To celebrate you.
No. It's they have it every year. They have a community day every year. But I'm doing some festivals and kind of sitting just to say thank you, got some little things, and because so many people have supported the channel, and so many people supported what we did here for the last 2 years.
Right.
Yeah, so we may have a great big announcement of what we're doing, kind of to, not really to end, because I'm probably going to end up here for another year. Yeah. No, I don't. But we got something big that we're going to do with your help, what you have already done. So we'll be announcing that.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you to share, we were talking about life verses, and you do kind of, as you study the Bible, as you read the Bible, as you learn, you pick a verse as you mature. And that one verse you keep going back to. So what is your verse?
My life verse would be Galatians 2:20. I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, and yet not I, but Christ lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave his life for me. Yeah. So that's my life verse.
It's not me, it's Christ.
Right.
And it's not, it is a very self-sacrificing verse.
Yeah.
And that's part, we were talking about, that's part of what Christianity is. And it's hard to live a selfish life. Well, you can't live a selfish life and be a Christian. You can't.
Right.
So.
We live to bless other people. That's why we're down here. Yeah.
And it's not always super easy, but but it does have a deeper reward.
Of course, yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
Yep. Set your sights on things eternal.
And sharing a good pot of soup with a friend makes it go makes it go better. So thank you all so very much for joining us. And thank you for being a part of our family. Until next time, remember to put God first. Yes. Always put God first. Try this soup, y'all. It's good.